Hello friends and welcome back to Purus Tech Java tutorials. In the last session we had covered like abstraction using the abstract classes, and in this session we are going to cover how to achieve abstraction using the interfaces. So this is the first term we are facing in our all the tutorial video tutorials. So first I will talk about the interface, and then we'll discuss about how to achieve abstraction using the interfaces. So let's start by taking some example. Okay, so before writing the code, let me just explain one scenario where let's say we have two mouse. One is mechanical mouse. You would have seen this one earlier, like nowadays it is very less used, and this is the optical mouse, which is now we personally we use it more. So what does this two mouse does? It does the same function, but the working principle is totally different. It works in mechanical way, and this works in an optical way. So there are some optical lights which when it moves here and there, then your x and y axis changed, and there are some multiple like complex functions are there inside the mouse, so that it works like move your cursor here, move your cursor up, down, like that. So here also the complexity is based on some mechanical definition. Okay, so basically these two should adhere some standard like left click, right click, scroll, move the cursor, so all these things. So let's see how an interface comes into this. So if we will just consider these two as a classes, this is the mechanical mouse class and this is the optical mouse class, and let's define a mouse interface. So mouse interface, what it does? So interface, what it talks? Interface talks what to do, not how to do. For example, let's say in our remote control there are many switches, right? There are many switches. So the switches are the interface to us, and how the switches inside, how it is working, we don't know, like that. So let's take this example and let me define one interface called mouse. So here in IntelliJ you need to select interface here, but in Eclipse you have actually a new right click, new interface type, so you can directly create from there. Let's say mouse I have created. So this mouse interface will talk what to do. What to do? Uh, let's say I will say move the cursor, move cursor. Okay, and so we need to give the return type. Let's say void move cursor, void left click, void right click. Okay, let's do with these functions, right? As you can see in this particular interface does not have any body of this method, because we know that interface only provides what to do, not how to do. How to do is the implementation of this move cursor. So implementation in the sense we have to write the body. So let me create two classes, that is optical mouse and one more, let's say mechanical mouse. Okay, so now I have two types of mouse, one is optical and one is mechanical mouse. Now, what this optical mouse has to do, this optical mouse and this mechanical mouse have to do the same function, except how is the working principle? We don't know. So this mouse defines what to do. This mouse interface defines what to do. So all these functions should be implemented in the optical mouse. So what we need to do, we need to implements, we need to write implements is a keyword, and mouse. So this mouse is an interface. So whenever we are going to implement any interface, we have to give all the implementation of the method. So what is the error it is giving? We need to implement the methods. So all these three methods which are defined in the mouse interface, we need to write the implementation. Let's go here. Even I need to implements mouse, and then here you implement the methods, all these three methods. Fine. Now we have uh, the implemented the mouse, more implemented the mouse interface. Let's do some logic, that is basic sys out. Move the cursor using mechanical way like this. Let's do left click in mechanical way, do right click in mechanical way. So the same thing, let me just try to implement, but what we need to do, move the cursor using optical way. And the same thing goes for left click and right click. Left click optical way and right click optical way. So that's fine. Now let's try to create one more class, that is the test class. So test mouse class, and here I will just put a main method. So psvm, and now we will see exactly what this mouse will be helpful, right? Um, Here let me try to create an object of optical mouse. So optical mouse m equal to new optical mouse. So let's say om optical, that's right, it fully optical mouse, optical mouse, and we'll do a mechanical mouse also. Let's mechanical mouse, new mechanical mouse, and let's say optical mouse dot move cursor. We'll say it wants to move the cursor, so move the cursor. And let's see the mechanical mouse and move cursor. Let's try to run this program. So as of now, we have not used this mouse interface in this test mouse program. We'll see how to use that particular mouse interface. So in Java best practices, coding to interfaces is preferred. So as of now, for beginner, you don't need to worry about that. So let's see how we can use interface here. So as you can see, move the cursor using optical way for the first one, right? For the optical mouse, and for the mechanical mouse using the mechanical way. Now let's see how we can use this particular mouse, because this mouse interface is implemented by this mechanical and optical mouse. So what we can do, we can replace this optical mouse type to mouse, so that this mouse reference can hold this optical mouse, because this is a super type. as in the last session we had seen um, as a subclass how it can be replaced with the abstract class. Here also I can use mouse interface. So let's run this program and see. See, the output is same. So what is an interface? Interface is the contract, like what to do, is a contract between the implementer and the provider. Let's say for example, one more example let's take. uh, like in normal Java programming language, we used to bring the connection from the database, right? So let me write it here. So in normal Java application, what we do, we can use DB2 databases, like Oracle database or MySQL database. So what are all these databases? These are the database providers. So as you can see here, there are three kinds of database provider. So DB2, MySQL and Oracle. So these three are the provider. Now in a normal Java program, what we do, we don't use their specific how to get the connection. Let's say how to get the connection from this particular databases. We don't know. And for the Oracle database, how to get the connection, we don't know. For MySQL also, we don't know. These are they know how to connect to the database from the Java and how to return the connection. So Java provides a connection interface which is exactly having some of the methods which are implemented by these three providers. So this is the basic, like this is the real world example. Okay, let's go back here. So as you can see, these are in gray color because we have not used this method anywhere. So you can use it here. Let's say optical mouse dot left click and then mechanical mouse dot left click. So you will see this gray color has been changed to black color. So how this interface is used for the abstraction? Abstraction is, so as you will see in the last session I had discussed about abstraction. What is abstraction? Abstraction is the hiding of complex logic from the clients or your user, whoever uses your particular functionality. So here this test mouse class is the user. So this test mouse is the user and it is using the mouse interface to call the functions. So that is what it is hiding, like this particular interface is hiding the implementation. There are different kind of interface which we will actually discuss in the some later sessions. So interfaces, we can have like two types of interfaces. One is marker interface and one more is functional interface. So these are the two different kind of interfaces. So don't worry, we will cover this particular interfaces in the coming session, and as well as and more detail we'll discuss on the interfaces. So we have covered here abstraction, and in the next session we will cover uh, encapsulation. And still then, stay tuned and thanks for watching this video.